Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to my dining room table. Now I know this is a little bit different. There's no rolling landscape coming towards you with a place name slowly coming into view. No, this is different. And there's a reason why we're here. You may remember earlier in the year, I made a couple of videos about AuthentiKit. I had the great pleasure of going to the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. And a huge thank you to Phil from AuthentiKit for inviting me there. And I got to see the AuthentiKit controls being used in the Spitfire simulator that the RAF used there to allow the public to have a chance to see what it's like. But also they use it as an emergencies trainer as well. So, hey, if it's good enough for the Air Force, it's good enough for me. I also did another video talking about trimming the Spit using the AuthentiKit controls. Now, just to quickly recap, I'm lazy. I'm not interested in building things. I don't build things like kits. When I was a kid, I used to love building kits. I used to build model aeroplanes. I used to have Tamiya radio control cars. And then as I got older, I lost that love for building things. I don't know why. I became impatient. I think that's the only way. I just didn't have the patience to sit there for hours and build stuff. I want to fly on the simulator, But coming from that point of view, as much as I kind of admired AuthentiKit controls from afar, you see people in the community using them, you see posts on Instagram and things like that, people using them. But I thought it's not really for me because I haven't got a 3D printer. I haven't got a degree in electrical engineering. It's just not something that's on my radar. And Phil kind of opened my eyes to the fact that that's actually not what it's about. There's different ways that you can connect with AuthentiKit, as it were. Sure, you can have a 3D printer, you can buy all the components from somewhere, you can sit there and put things together. There is no soldering involved, though. It's actually quite simple, as hopefully you're going to see. And it's a kind of a freeware community in terms of you can download for free the plans that are on there. You can print them at home. You need to buy the hardware and that kind of stuff. But the other way of doing it, which I talked about in earlier videos, is there are people who will print the 3D parts for you. So you could buy your 3D parts from printed parts from someone and then buy the hardware from somewhere else and that kind of thing, which is great, which makes it easier if you don't have a 3D printer. But what they've done now, which is really exciting, is that they've made it even easier. They've made it even simpler for idiots like me, in that you buy a complete kit. And a huge thank you to Phil from AuthentiKit and also Ruben from SimKit Supplies for giving me the opportunity to build this, to see if I can rekindle my love for building kits again, and to show it to you in this video and to get to use it. I've been using a prototype that Phil sent me up till now that was already built, and I must say it's been great. At the end of the day, it's about immersion. You're flying the Spitfire and you've got a trim wheel here, and it's kind of in the right place where it should be. And also because of all the other things like the tuning app, you have a much more realistic control, and it doesn't feel like kind of stock Microsoft Flight Simulator control inputs. It feels really good. I mean, trim is one of those things that sometimes people overlook, but trim really is your friend. And if you're trimming the aircraft properly, especially something like a Warbird, it really does help. Something like the takeoff roll, it really does help to have the aircraft trimmed properly. And just normal flying, it takes some of the effort. You're not having to hold the stick in a certain position. If you fly helicopters, you really understand that. So yeah, trim is your friend. And this is where these trim wheels can be really useful. But it doesn't stop with trim wheels. You've got, for the Spitfire, you've got the spade grip, you've got the throttle control, and all these things kind of work together. And again, if you have a look at the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight video that I did, I'll put a link down below. there's a piece in there where Phil kind of goes through some of the other controls that they've got, and you get a really good idea of the range of pieces that are out there. It really is quite fantastic just how much you can go into it. So anyway, I was talking about the kit. So what is in the kit? What is in this box? Okay, well, here we are. Who doesn't love an unboxing, eh? There's nothing like getting a box of stuff. So let's take the put that there. So we have our little kind of intro sheet here. And this is kind of giving us a bit of information on what it is that's in the box, and also giving us our links, for example, the where to get our assembly instructions and that kind of thing. That's all contained in here as well. So that's quite a nice little introduction to what it's all about. We've got a little card from Simulation Kit Supplies. We have our sticker. Now this goes on the control box. Let's not jump ahead. We've got our wheel. Some of these things are obvious as to what they're going to be. We've got a 3D printed component there. This is a very clever piece of kit. This is how the trim wheel attaches to the or the trim or the assembly. The trim wheel assembly actually attaches to the monitor stand. We'll talk a bit about that in the future as well. And then we've got some other components here. These are all to do with, I kind of recognize them as this is another part of the connecting, how you connect it to the monitor stand. We've got more 3D printed parts. These are actually, it is amazing. It really does amaze me what you can actually do now in terms of being able to print, manufacture things at home. It's incredible. Don't need that. We've got leads. They give you all these leads. They don't just give you the leads to plug in the trim wheels, because each trim wheel has got its own lead. They also give you some leads if you add things on the future, for example, the spade grip, that kind of thing. So they are very generous in what they give you. So we've got some leads. Put that over there. Then we've got our, I think these, I'm going to embarrass myself now, RJ3s or something like that. These are our little connectors that we're going to be plugging wires into and hopefully not breaking anything. And then we plug our, I want to say Ethernet cables, but kind of like network cables, aren't they? As you can see, I'm not a technical person. As I said, I just like to fly stuff. Now, this is something I'm going to come on to. I'll be coming on to that in a couple of seconds. This is the brains of the outfit, just here. This is the board, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. But this is the board that goes in the control box. Now, something I should say is that, well, why have we got a board? Why have we got a box here? Why isn't the circuit board actually in the controller? The really clever thing about all this is that it would be expensive to have one of these in every single controller. So what they do is you just have it in the universal control box here, and then all your peripherals, all your controllers plug into this. They share the same board, saves on cost, makes life a lot easier. More bits to attach it to the monitor stand, and then we've got a bag of bits here which are all to do with the I recognise these as being the actual where these things attach on and go into the controllers. And then we've got a bag of bolts, screws, corky bits, lots of leads, an incredible amount of leads. I'm not going to let that scare me. We'll be doing some work with them and some more connector bits. What else have we got? And that's the universal control box there. And then we have our rudder wheel. Now, I don't know if that's going to pick up there. I'm going to hope that it is. But you can see there's some lettering there, but it's all, you can't, there's nothing there. In terms of it doesn't stand out, is what I'm trying to say. Now, you don't have to do this as part of the kit. You could just build it now and crack on and not worry about it. But they do give you this, which is what I said I'd come back to. This little beauty here is basically, I think it's just like silicon sealant. And one of the first jobs I've got to do is to use the silicon sealant to add the white to all these bits and bobs here. So that's the first job. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that next before I actually go on to do the build. You don't have to do this. You can build this really quickly, but I kind of want to do a proper job of it. And seeing as they give you this stuff, and seeing as that should be, should have some kind of definition in it, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And put it in there. So that is next. So as you can see, you do pretty much get, well, I say pretty much, you do get everything. Apart from the monitor mount that I'd mentioned, you do get everything. You even get the tools. There's a little wire stripper in there. And I believe also in there are the right screwdriver bit heads and a little handle to put the screwdriver bits into, so that you can just crack into it and build it without worrying about having to have all the tools there. So there you go, a whole bag of stuff. That, by the way, is the sticker that goes on top of the box here, so that it shows you. It's that way around, I think. Shows you where everything plugs into. We'll see that in more detail when it's built, but that makes life quite a lot easier as well. So there you go. It's exciting. I can almost feel part of me, the child part of me that used to love building kits from years ago, is actually quite looking forward to cracking into this and giving it a go. Anyway, first job, as I say, we've got to do something with that. So let's do that now. So again, important to note, this isn't essential. If you want to crack on and get building, you can do. This is just really for cosmetic effect, but in my mind, it's worth doing it. So first of all, we're starting off with a very highly technical dabbing application of detergent, fairy liquid in this case. Other washing up liquids are available. And just the important thing is to dab it on, and we're going to cover the area that we are going to be rubbing the sealant across. But we've got to let the fairy liquid dry. That's the important thing. Let it dry, and then we can then, once that's happened, we can then look at spreading our silicone across it. Right, so here's where that silicone tube that they gave us comes in handy. Using a highly classified form of application material known as cling film. We just apply the silicone across the surface there. You're just making sure that you get it nicely pressed into where the lettering is, and making sure that you get good coverage. So we'll just keep working that around the wheel. And then once we've done that, we're kind of doing the opposite. We're now taking silicone off, just trying to remove as much as possible, just to make the cleanup job easier. And once we've done this and we've got as much off as that we can whilst protecting the actual lettering itself, we're going to have to leave this to dry. So this is going to dry overnight, and then we can attack it tomorrow and give it a good cleanup. Now it's nice and dry, we can start just gently taking the excess silicone off. Because we put that fairy liquid on, it's making the job a lot easier. It's coming away actually relatively easy to start off with. Of course, what you'll then want to do is then just keep working at it. Once you've got the bigger bits off, there's going to be some smaller bits, and you'll want to work away at those. And like Phil says in his video, it just depends how much time you want to give it. But it's good to get to the job done properly, and I think even now you can see that adding the white to the lettering does make a big effect. and makes it look better than not having it, in my opinion anyway. Right, so here we are. We've got everything out. We've got a tray of bits here, which all looks very impressive. We've got all our screws and things out. There's a whole lot of different screw sizes here. So it just helps to have everything in place just to get an idea of where everything else is. I have printed off various manuals. We've got the bill of materials here, which is really just kind of telling you what you're meant to have in there. We've got the wiring diagram, which is really useful. Certainly for my printer decided to pack up partway through that one, but we'll let that slide. Yeah, this is really useful. This is much easier to get your head around all the wiring diagrams in this bigger format here. We have the machine screws inventory because there's so many of the little monkeys, and then we have the instructions. So this is the complete guide. So there's two phases to this. There's the building of the trim combo, which is what we're going to do first. And that should take about half an hour. I'm going to put the timer on here. I'm in no race. I'm not trying to beat anyone else's time or anything like that. But it's, if anything, it kind of shows you what a novice, how long it takes a novice to do this kind of stuff. Someone who doesn't mess about with wires and that sort of thing. And then there is the universal hub. I was calling it universal control box and all sorts of stupid things before, but this is the bit that everything kind of plugs into. So we need to build that as well. The obvious thing to say is that the universal hub is a one-off. If you are going to get into this and you're going to have the stick and the throttle and all that kind of stuff, you only ever build the universal hub once. With a minor exception to the wiring, but I'll come on to that in a bit. And again, it's a personal choice. But really, this here, the trim wheels combo assembly is the main thing that we're talking about. And really, as I said earlier, it's kind of hopefully to show how simple it is. So, right, have I covered everything that I need to cover at this point? I think so. I've got some bits and pieces. You get the tools that come with it. You get the handy little wire stripper. We've got the Allen key. Now that's to attach it to the monitor arm, which attaches to the desk. I'm not going to cover that in this video. As I said earlier, I will put a link down below to the video where I talked about how it connects up to your desk, how it connects up to this kind of universal mount, which is a monitor bracket. And so rather than repeat it again, that'll be, you can see that in the video below. This is all about building this and getting the universal hub built as well. Okay, so let's get the timer started. Why the hell not? And come here. There we go. So we got the timer on. Hopefully you can see that. I should say Phil has done some really exceptional videos, how-to videos on this sort of thing. So I've been having a look at those as well. So I do come a little bit pre-warned. If I wasn't making a video doing this, by the way, I strongly urge you to do this, I would have my iPad there with Phil's video playing, and I would be building this with his video. It really is excellent, and it, as you can see, the instructions are text, but when you see him actually doing it on the video, it makes a whole lot of sense. So the first step was that, not part of the main build. It's a cosmetic thing. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. I did, so I've done it, innit? Right, so what have we got here? Fit cork discs with holes onto the two Roton 603F bases. So that is these bits here. So we're going to take those two and those. And I'm, with the video in mind that I saw, I'm going to pop this down there. push it through. There we go. And then we fold those two down. If I can get my sausage fingers to do what it needs to do. Like that. Get that one down there, and then we just need to fold these down a little bit, just so that we can come back to that in a little while. Okay, so that's that. So now we've got our nice place marking there for where we need to put our cork base. And the cork is really what the, I guess, is what helps to give you some friction. You tighten the screws on the base or on the top of this, and the more you tighten it, the more it kind of rubs against that and the more friction you get, which is a pretty useful feature. So we've done that, that's popped out, but that doesn't matter so much because that was just there to give us a placeholder. So I'll put that there, and let's do the next one. Same again. So I'd be interested to know, put in the comments below if you've done any of the AuthentiKit stuff, if you're into the 3D printing and you do all that side of it as well. Be really interested to know, what your experiences are, what you've made. As I say, this for anyone who is an expert at this kind of stuff. As I said at the beginning, this is not a tutorial by any stretch of the imagination. This is more a kind of a build experience. But yeah, it's good to know. I know there's a big community out there, and I'd certainly heard of AuthentiKit long before Phil got in touch. So I know there's a lot of you out there doing this kind of thing. Just get that centered again. Okay, right. So that's that. Right, assemble both Roten 603F bases with the 603 bearing, rotary encoder, which we've done, Roten peg, Roten cap, and 3 M4 20mm countersunk screws. So this is the bearing, which is actually a lovely piece of kit. It's got a nice weight to it, and it's ever so smooth as well. I think in Phil's video he says that they use them in washing machines. But yeah, it's a nice little piece of kit. So I'll drive that home. We've got another one here as well. And just get that lined up and pop that in there as well. What do I need to do now? So these have got to go through. It's got a D on it, which we'll be looking at later. I'm hoping that I'm doing this the right way. I think I am. And we'll pop this one in here. Get it lined up nicely. There we go. One thing I will say actually is that everything, and again it comes back to what I was saying about 3D printed parts. It's amazing what you can do. Everything feels nicely put together. There's no gluing or soldering or anything, but that does feel really nicely put together. Now we have this jobby here. So I'm going to put that on there, and let's put that back through there. And then what I need to do here is just kind of line everything up. And if I rotate that, hopefully at some point, that's probably sticking out a bit too far. Let's have a look. Something doesn't feel quite right. But that's, I hold that. There we go. Right, that's in. So that's in now. That's that one. A nice little production line going here. It's popped out again. So let's put that back there. And then we'll put him in there. And let's again just rotate that. Because the D shape of the pin, I've just got to get it lined up so that it all goes together nicely. And there we go. And if I turn that, I can feel everything. Yeah, cool. That's working. That's working nicely. Okay, assemble countersunk screws. Okay, now looking at it, yeah. So the countersunk screws need to go on here, and they are the 20mm. So let's get those going in. We'll use our handy screwdriver that they've very generously given us. I have to say, it's quite interesting doing this. And I'm not just saying it. Oh, I should say at this point, we don't want to tighten it too much, because this is where we are adding, adding some tension to the unit. So we don't want to tighten it too much at this stage, but just enough so it's all secure. There we go. Cool. Let's take this one. The thing that I guess if I think of this in terms of what lies ahead, what for me is probably the most challenging part of it, I would say it's the wiring that's going to be the interesting part. It's one of those things that, I mean, obviously I've done some wiring in the past, more messing about as a kid with things, and obviously wiring plugs and that kind of stuff. But, and I had to solder my fulcrum yoke that I broke. I had to solder some new switches on, which was interesting. But yeah, it's getting all the connectors right. I think for me, it's not so much can I do it, it's more I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to break it with my sausage fingers. Right, so that's that. That's those two done. We've done that. Yep, So now we need to add some wires. Fold back the legs of the trim wheel rotary encoded 45 degrees and attach 3 15cm wires in the order yellow, black, green. Now for me, this is where it's going to get tricky. My eyesight isn't the best. I am wearing glasses, and to do this, we're going to be using these crimping ferrules, which sounds more like a medical condition, but we're going to be using those. The guys that do this all the time think, oh, for God's sake, what is he waffling on about? Right, where did we get to? Follow that as a trim wheel encoder. Attach 3 yellow, black, green. And we want 15 centimeters. And as Phil points out very handily, half of that is about 15 centimeters. There we go. There's my scissors. There we go. Put that back there. Yellow. I was having to play with this earlier, so I've already got a bit of a tip on there. There we go. And we'll get that just there. They do seem to give you plenty of stuff in here as well. So you're not going to run out of anything. If you make a mistake, that is, which I'm probably like to do. What do I say? Yellow, black, green. So we need some black. There we go. I've just realised the stopwatch has gone out. There'll be people saying, oh, that's because we're treating. Let's get it back up again, shall we? There we go. In hindsight, I should have set my thing not to go off. Right, fold back the... Done that. Right, so what do we say? It is yellow, in the order yellow, black, green. Okay, so I think that's probably going to be a little bit too long for a start. So let's just cut that a little bit. Of course, the trick here is that we don't want a lot of stray wires for obvious reasons. So I'm just going to twist that we go. Just got that. And now the moment I have been dreading with my eyesight is trying to get one of these crimping ferrules on. Now, Phil suggested that the way to do this is to pop it there and then whack it through. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of basically you're sticking it onto your finger, end on. Yeah, that's going to need a little bit more twisting, I think, to fit in there. Good God. Well, it's kind of gone on. But I think I might have just cut off a little bit too much wire in hindsight. Yeah, I cut off a little bit too much wire. So let's just nip a little bit more. And what I'm going to do this time is thread it through and then cut it if I need to. So let's just repeat that process again. Bosh. Whack it in. Let it fall down. Make sure it's get back on there. Try and get it down there. That's it. And then fold it. This is incredibly fiddly for my... That's not ideal. In fact, that's not good at all. So let's do a go around, as they say. Ho, ho, ho. Let's see if we can't do a better job of this. There we go. That's better. And then fold that over like so. Okay. Now what we've got to do, what was it? Yellow, black, green. So let's do this one first. What I've now got to do is slide that onto that there. That's what we're doing. Which is easier said than done. Yeah, Phil makes it look so easy. Let's see if we can help myself here a little bit by getting some more light on it and getting this on there as well. I can get a better idea. That's better. I can actually get a fighting chance to see what I'm doing. There's the ferrule. Right, that's now on. Now, what I've got to do now is hold that there. This is where it'd be handy to have another set of hands. Push that wire down into there. I can actually move that out the way now, so it'll probably be easier. Gently push that into the groove. There we go. That's more like it. Push down on the ferrule and see if we can get a good crimp. Okay, that seems to be all right. Now, one of the things Phil suggests, which is a good idea, is to take a picture with the phone when you've done all this, and you can actually get a good idea that everything is in place. Unfortunately, I'm using one phone to film and one phone at a time. So that isn't going to happen. Right. So we've done the yellow. We now do the black. Might just take a little bit more of that. Yeah. This wire is actually very easy to take some of the insulation off. There we go. Get a couple of those out. It's a bit easier, isn't it? Come here. Fold it over. I was going to say it's much easier when you do it second time round, but I should probably not be quite so quick. Come here. It's really important to make sure there's no stray wires, so I'm just checking that. There we go. And it is certainly easier once you've got that first one out of the way, to anyone who's never done this before. Or is sausage fingered like me, it's a lot easier once you get the first one done. You kind of get a feel for it. That's how it feels right now anyway. So I'll just press that home and then push that. There we go. There we are. Quick look with the old magnifying glass. Not seeing any stray wires. Yeah, looks okay. And everything is nice and firm. I'm just going to give that one more push. There we go. Okay, so that's that one. Now we've got to do the other one. Right, what's this? This is the rudder bias, and that's red, black, and white. So let's do the same again. Using the magic measuring tool. See, the stopwatch has gone now, but let's face it, I'll be lucky to get this done in 30 minutes. But I think that's probably down to the fact that I'm yakking to you, and I guess I'm probably safe to say that I'm being very cautious. As I say, I'm not in any race. What did I say? Red, black, and white. Red. Put that back over there. Black. And white. Give another twist. Come back. Come here, you naughty feral. Suddenly occurred to me this is probably going to be one of those points where someone says, oh, that's not how you pronounce it. Double check, red, black and white, red. Okay. So we've done that. Right, what do we do now? Blah, 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 blah. We need to take this piece now, I think. Okay, so attach the, and that is, so that's going to go there. That I can remember from the thing, so let's do that. Okay, that's all good. That's fine. That's all tickety-boo. That feels a little bit tight, but that might just be because I've not got anything plugged into it yet. Right. So that's going that away. And this now needs to go. I think we need to point this this dune like that. So make sure we get it in the right one this time. Okay, so we've done those bits. We've got all our wires hanging out. Bum. We've done that. Connect the elevator to the base slot as per the video. Okay, so we need the RJ45, and where is? Let's have a look. Have we got a diagram here somewhere? Let's have a look. Where's my wiring one? Here we go. Let's move some things out of the way. Let's have a slurp of tea. So, what have we got? I think. How did that? I'm trying to remember how this went. Where's the? I've got a diagram somewhere. Okay, let's see what it says. Connect the elevator and position the into the base of the slot as per the video. Okay, so it's referring back to the video. So this is the point where I really do need to remind myself which way that is actually going. Okay, there we go. Sod's law. I try and go out to have a look at the video and my iPad packs up and was not responding. So anyway, I'm here now. So it's that. It will go in that way like that. So let's have a look at here. This is a really useful, if you actually turn this diagram this way, as I saw from Phil's video, you can actually match things up properly. So we are going to go black into the first one. And I'm just going to expose a little bit of that. By the way, stopwatch completely gone out the window now after that, having to try and get my iPad to restart. Wasted so much time doing that. So that part has gone to pot. So I'm looking for the little tooth. Place it over there. Has it got in? Yep, that's good. So black. Yellow. So it's next one along. So we're kind of missing one. It'd probably help if I just push that down a little bit. There we go. And then how's that looking? That's in. Yeah, happy with that. And then lastly but not leastly, we have green. Just twist that a little bit more. Oh, again, we don't want any stray wires, so put that there and then push it down. How's that taken? Yep, that's all good. Black, yellow, green. Happy with that. And we will pop that in there, because that is how it goes. Got some wires there, but as Phil says in his video, you could actually make those a little bit shorter, really. So let's do this a little bit quicker. A little bit too much there. Get rid of some of that. So we're going to go black first. That's in. And we go red. Oh, wrong one. Just realised it's not that one. Meant to miss one. There we go. Make sure that it gets in the right position. Yeah, that's all good. And then lastly but not leastly, white. Make sure we've missed one again. Yeah. And is that good? Yeah, that's all good. Just move that there. I'm going to press that down a little bit. I can just see some loose strands. And again, if you could use a phone to just have a proper look and make sure that everything is as it should be. And that is those wired up. Okay, right, next section. So we've done all the wires, fit the combo cover to the combo base with 4 20mm countersunk screws. So that is this bit here. And that's going to go like that. So I just want to get back there. This is where it's going to be tricky. I've got to line that up so that that's in place. How is that looking? That's good. Just needs a little bit more. There we go. And it's top and bottom at each end that we're doing. Okay, good to go. Right, so we've done that. That's good. Slide the VisaFix. So this is where we're sort of coming into our mounts. Slide the VisaFix into the top slot and fasten it from the back with 4 of the 20mm countersunk screws. So that goes that way. And let's just get this, let's get a picture just to remind myself so that we don't do anything embarrassing. So what have we got? We've got those, that's that. So this is coming in this way, of course it is. So we've got some wires there. Just got to be careful we don't pinch those. Get that in place, that's all good. Just looking at how it should do according to that. And then it's those 4. And the last one in there. Right. Okay, so fasten the dovetail to the V-fix using the 4 8mm countersunk screws. So that is these here, isn't it? Yeah. They're the little diddy ones. Somehow I think that's come over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a little diddy one there. So this has got to go, just trying to think of this logically, that is going, so that then fixes onto the mount that goes on your bracket, and then that slides onto it that way. Basically, that's how that's working. Done that. Fit the rudder bias wheel to the left hand using the 20mm countersunk screw. Here we go. Here we go. Just double check. 20mm rudder bias. That's what we're looking for. Okay. We've just got to line up the D. There we go. Push that home. Now that's actually quite stiff. So what I'm going to do is take that off and just release it a bit. I have gone a little bit too hard there. Let's see what that's like. This is the handy thing. You can adjust it to your own preference. Yeah, I like that. That's much better. That's nice. You need enough there that it's not going to come loose, but also you can easily operate it in flight. Okay, that's good. That's on 60B, and then we got our little plug. Push that in. There we go. Now, take those tabs off. And then that, I tell you what I'm going to do straight away. Because based on the feel of the rudder, there we go. Let's pop that on. There we go. How does that feel? Possibly a bit too loose. Yeah, possibly a bit too loose. I'm just going to give it Well, there you go. It doesn't want to come off, and I'm a little bit nervous about forcing it. There we go. So I'm just going to give it 1, 2, 3. Actually, you can actually feel the. So the screws feel really loose, but the actual unit itself, you can feel the resistance there. There we go. Let's try that. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay. Now this one has to have something different. So let's get this right. So we need a 14. Come here, 14 for that. Important not to get the wrong one in there. There we go. And then again, pop in the little centerpiece. Make sure that's all sitting home. So, fit the we've got all that. That's all nice. Now, the only last two things we need to do are the little plugs. Now, there is a there's going to be a plinth that attaches here that has things like the pitot heat, fuel pump, and the radiator switch, which you'll know from the Mark 9 if you've got the flying iron in MSFS anyway. That is actually going to be, you're going to be able to attach that onto here, which is why these gaps are open, but we haven't got it on this one, so we're just going to pop that in just to close everything up. That's good. And then we get the little, where did I put it? There it is. The wee one just for there. Oh, get it in the right way. Less haste and all that again. There we go. Get it right this time. Subtradameter. Okay, and that is the trim wheel combo assembled. So it's actually, as you can see, it's not that difficult. Let's have a look at the time. So that took, it's an hour and 3 minutes at the moment. It took me about 15 minutes to try and sort out my iPad. So I think Phil says you can build it in half an hour. I probably took my time on it, trying to be careful. So probably, I'm probably looking at 45 minutes upwards for mine. But as I say, I wasn't in any race. I just wanted to make sure everything went together and I did it properly. And I kind of took my time on it. But certainly, as I said, having to go and check the video and then the iPad not working did not help. And definitely, as I say, if you're building this, build it with Phil's video in front of you. It makes life so much easier. Trust me. Okay, now we're going to build a universal hub. Right, here we go. So let's just move that out the way, and I will now get it onto. There's some more wiring to do with this, so this will be interesting. Slightly different setup to the other bits, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Right, so let's have a look. Fit the BU 0836A board to the Unihub box with the BU clamp and an M4 6mm countersunk screw. These are the 6 mils. These little diddy ones. Okay, I'm just having a quick look. Yeah. Okay, so here's the Leo Bodner board, the brains of the outfit. So let's put that there. Checking that that's okay. There we go. Get it nice and square on the pegs. Then we've got a little connector here. Okay. Now, this is where we get the sticker. So we put that on there. That's all good. Right, here we go. And make sure I've got it the right way around. So it's going to kind of be that way, isn't it? So it'd be easier if that wasn't moving around so much. Let's try it here. There we go. That works. Good stuff. There we go. Okie doke. Right. So we have fit the alpha fit the iron to H1, H2, H3, H4. So those all in place. There we go. Right, start screwing the 2mm, 6mm flanger screws. One on the left, one on the right. Okay, take 15cm, 2 pieces of black silicone wire and strip 1 inch off each end of each and 4mm off the other. So where's the black? How much do we want? We want 2 15 sections. So 1. There we go. Twist along a strip. Slot the short ends into the left-hand channels of rudder and elevator, using the video technique to ensure safe, secure seating. All right, let's go back to, where's my wiring diagram? There it is, trim wheels. So it's literally the left hand of these here. And let's just double check that. So we've got, yeah, rudder, elevator. Good, good, good. And it's number 1. Checking where the tooth is. Oh, should have supported that a bit more. There we go, that's in. And what you could also do at this point is you could wire up for the other ones as well, in case you get the other controllers. I'm not going to do that here, just try and save a bit of time just doing the ones that we actually need. But that's all good. Yeah, cool. Okay, take short ends and left, done that. Take orange, grey, yellow and green and use the wire stripper. See video for technique. Okay, this is where it gets a bit more complicated. So take orange. Do we need a brown anywhere? No. Let's have a look. So do we need a red? No. So let's just put those over there. Suddenly feels like licorice or something. Take orange. Grey. So a grey. Put you over there. Orange, grey, yellow, and green. Okay, so we've got orange, green, yellow. There we go. And use the wire stripper to strip off 4 mil and twist tightly. So this is going to be interesting. So let's do the orange one first. Now, you have to be quite gentle. So I'm going to have to find, let's get some light on this. And don't want to twist it too hard. Just enough. See what we got. There we go. That's all right. Happy with that. That'll do. So we got orange. And then we're going to do grey. Give that a good twist. Yellow. Quite a cool little wire strip of this. I've got one somewhere, but it's quite a handy little one. There we go. Give that a good twist. And green. That bit of insulation fell in there, and a little bit of wire as well. Have a look at that green. Yeah, okay. So now we need to do some plugging in. And this is where we use the wiring diagram here. So we will start with the yellow. I don't know why I'm doing it in a very bad Sean Connery accent. That little silver bit there, we need to make sure it's facing that away so it doesn't interfere with anything. And we need to make sure it gets on the peg. I don't know if you can see that, but right, let's do that first. So that's on. Is it on? Yeah. And that goes in that one. And let's just check where the tooth is. The tooth is there. Must remember to support that when you do that. But no, that didn't take because of my not supporting it. So just double check again the gap between that and the other. And let's support it while we press. Okay, that's taken. Green. Pop that on there as well. Let's just make sure it's firmly seated. That gone in. Yes, it has. And green is the next one along, but one. So we're missing one again. Then we've got black, yellow, green. Yep, that all matches. Get ready to support the doobry. There we go. How's that taken? Nice. Perfecto. Happy with that. Okay, orange. No idea why I keep saying that in its French form. Just going to quickly check using this light. Yeah, that's all good. An orange is that one. Need to support it. So taken, yeah, that's good. And then grey. That's good. Grey is that one. There's a beautiful logic to it. Okay. Press it down, lift it up, just check. And that's all good. So there you go. That's us all wired up. So I'll just close those. Keep having to remind myself that you need to support those when you press down. Right, let's tidy this wiring up a bit. No, wiring never was my... Tidy wiring, I should say, is not my forte. Right, so the other thing we need to do... Now, you could then go on and wire all these other ones up as well. But we're not going to do that. But what we do need to do is just to make sure that everything is going to work, that we wire up some other bits as well. So we need to, let me just double check on here. Join the red and black purple DuPonts to the red and black M3 screw joints. Red and black. Okay, bum, 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 bum. Okay, that's fine. So we now need black, and we need the red one. And we need the purple. There's the purple. Okay, so we'll do some more stripping of the wires. Actually, for this one we need a bit more, don't we? So, because we're not putting it into there. So yeah, let's just take a bit more, give ourselves a bit more wire. And this is all about properly earthing it more than anything, I believe, but it won't work unless you connect these up. So we will do that. Okay, so purple goes there. Black goes next to it. Suddenly occurred to me that anyone who's really quite good at this kind of stuff is probably horrified at the state of my wiring. I'm fully expecting people to leave comments saying, who the hell do you think you are with that abomination of wiring that you've got? There we go. I'll just bring that around there. Okay. Okay, we've done that, and that's done. Okay. Now, what we need to do is put that on this nest of wires. And what did it say? 6 mil. So you get plenty of screws for future projects. A lot of these screws also relate to the mounting system, of course. Just check that those jacks are where they should be. Which one have I just used, actually? I just had an awful feeling. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Yeah. That'll do you on. Thought that didn't feel quite right. So there you have it. The whole thing built. So it's if you go at it a bit slow like me, it's you know, maybe an hour and a half if you don't have technical issues trying it with your iPad. It's let's push that there. Yeah, it doesn't really take a huge amount of time. There's certainly no soldering involved or anything like that. It's not massively technical. It's just having a bit of common sense and not getting wires trapped like I've just done with this one here. There we go. And I will say that they are very easy, nice kits to put together as well. There's nothing, I mean, you've seen, you know, you've watched it. I've been very open and honest in terms of my own inabilities. For example, having the first wiring that I was doing there with the ferrule wasn't quite kind of coming together, but then after that, it was relatively simple. So you can see, even for someone like me who isn't into building kits and that sort of thing, it's still fairly simple to do. And the result is that you have this lovely replica Spitfire trim combo, which mounted where it goes is, as I said at the beginning, is just absolutely fantastic. Adds to the immersion. And once you use the tuning app as well, you really do have better control of the trim. And it's easier to trim it as well. And as I said, trim is your friend. So I hope that was of interest to you. I'm going to put a link to the previous channel videos down below, including the one where we talk about actually using this in the sim and setting it up. I'll also put Phil's links to Phil's videos in there as well, so you can have a look at that. His tutorials, as I say, really are exceptional. And I can promise you, I'll say it again, I promise you, building this with those in front of you as you watch them is the way to go forward. So there you go. Once again, huge thank you to AuthentiKit and SimKit Supplies for giving me the opportunity to get my sausage fingers on this and build something. Hope you've enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.